Raw Unscripted. I'm Kim and my co-host Kellyanne. We are here on this beautiful day and we're going to be talking all about the importance of gratitude. When we didn't have it, what did our lives look like? Why does it make a difference for us now? And really it's so much more. It's so much more than an emotion. And I said that in the caption that goes with today's video. It's a way of being, it's a way of living through our lives. And hopefully, if you're not there yet, we can start to practice this attitude of gratitude and help you start to see the shifts in your life that are possible, that are going to open you up to so many more possibilities. So please, if you're tuning in live, please say hello. Let us know where you're tuning in from. I can see your comments and we can see your comments. So please feel free to say hello and engage in the conversation. And let's get started. Good morning, Kellyanne.
Good morning, Kim. We were just talking about my coming down off my high from my daughter got married this weekend, and I still feel, I'm looking at myself and I still feel like I'm exhausted.
Well,
It's so funny. My husband and I said yesterday he came home from being on the road, and it was about 1:30, and he said, like in the afternoon, he said, I'm exhausted. I said, so am I. Like, I don't know what it is. So we actually just sat down and watched a movie.
that sounds perfect.
And he fell asleep. And yeah, so I think it's just the emotional, all of the emotions. It was wonderful though. So yeah, I have a lot to be grateful for this wonderful
Absolutely.
life. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I
Mhm.
love that for
Mhm.
you. I mean, it's a lot of work to plan a wedding and we want to be able to celebrate all of that beautiful time with family. And I'm glad that you were able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank
So,
you. Thank
so
you.
I'm taking a peek. If I'm hoping, if I'm trying to see if there's any captions. I've had issues with this platform before, but I'm seeing if there's anybody tuning in. Either way,
Can you see them, Kim? Because I
no,
can.
you can.
Oh, yep, I can see all the people tuning in. So
Well,
it's
that's good because I can't yet. So, that's okay. Oh, I see them coming in
oh,
now.
yeah.
All the little buttons, all the little features. Good morning to everyone that's here with
Okay.
us. So happy to
Mm.
see you. Yeah, we were both wearing pink. That wasn't planned. Are we going to the Barbie movie, Kellyanne?
Well, I heard it's wonderful.
So am
You know
I.
what? I mean, I somebody said to me that every woman should see it because it's very emotional, and I think especially for maybe, women who kind of grew up with Barbie as little girls, which I definitely did. Yeah, and it's funny because my dress for the wedding was hot pink also, and
Did you plan that?
people said that to me. Did you plan it that you were going to be wearing this when the Barbie movie came out? And of course, no, I didn't.
No,
But I
no.
love pink, so
Totally, totally. Well, that was very fitting. You were on trend for sure.
yes, I was. I was.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Pink nails
Hmm.
do count, Jeannie. Yes, they do. I actually have some pink on my fingers. All right, let's get our conversation going. So, I would love for everyone to type in the chat when you think about gratitude, what comes up for you? If you had to describe gratitude in your own words, how would you describe it? I was thinking about this morning when I was out walking Sophie. And for me, it would be an appreciation for all that I have. I would sum it up that way. It's an appreciation for all that I have beyond and probably more importantly not the materialistic things, like really it's not it's I'm going to start with a quick story and it's going to be super quick. I was at the gym on the weekend. We were standing out in the parking lot and I was talking with some friends, and I was not talking at the time, and I heard this bird, and this bird was just chirping and chirping and chirping, and my eyes just naturally went up to the sky and looked for this bird. And I was thinking to myself, like, the old me would never have appreciated a bird, right? But I think that that's how much life has shifted for me as I've opened up my world to appreciating all that's around me, and I'm able to actually experience it. So I wanted to share that. What about you, Kellyanne?
Yeah.
How do you define it?
Well, and I love your definition. I would add the word conscious
Mhm,
appreciation
mhm.
because, you know, I I quickly did a live video this morning, and I said that if somebody had asked me years ago if I was a grateful person, I would have said yes. Of course, I'm grateful. Like, I have lots of great things in my life. Of course, I'm grateful. But the truth was I really wasn't.
Mm,
I was not consciously aware of the things in my life that were amazing, that were wonderful, that were really small miracles. I really was not aware of them. I spent my time looking for things that were wrong,
mm,
not looking for things that were right.
mhm. But isn't that how our minds are wired, right? Our minds are wired to be problem solving, right? That's what
Exactly.
they're wired to do. Mhm.
You're right. And so rarely did I think, except in, sometimes there would be occasions where I would go to gratitude very quickly, but it didn't happen every day. Like
Mhm.
I was not grateful every day, not consciously grateful. And that has definitely shifted for my life too, Kim. And I think that conscious awareness every single day of the things that I'm grateful for has really changed my life because I believe, and I always say it, whatever you look for, you will find.
Mhm.
And if you are constantly looking for things to be grateful for, oh my gosh, your world is full of them.
Mhm.
Like that little bird, like, I mean, being overcome. I remember when my granddaughter was a baby, I remember sitting on the couch holding her. It was quiet, everybody was busy off doing things. And I remember the tears just streaming down my face with gratitude for her, for her life. And those are there's just so much magic. You create so much magic in your life when you really become conscious of the beautiful things that are there in your life.
And it's a choice, right? It's that ability to make that decision to look for it. I too got to spend, when you talk about babies, I got to go and spend a little bit of time with my great niece on the weekend and her little feet and her little stretches and her little baby groans. And I have such a deep appreciation for so much, and I catch myself sometimes, like, me, I'm a pretty emotional person and I cry for many things, and sometimes I don't even know why I'm crying. But a lot of times I've noticed that a lot of my tears, when they fall, they're falling for a place of gratitude for where I am in my life. It's like for being able to like see what is around me and feel what is around me and appreciate all that I have in our world. We catch ourselves, and I mean, we all do it on some level. I don't think we can be removed from it completely, but where we're in that world of social media and everybody's showing the highlights. And if you're in a place where you don't recognize and appreciate what you do have, because again, we're wired to be like, what do I don't have? I don't have this, I don't have that. And then we're in that place of lack. Meanwhile, we have so much around us. But if we get ourselves caught in that place of comparison, which so happens, and I hear about this all the time, well, no wonder, right? So again, it goes back to what you said. Whatever I look for is what I'm going to see. So am I going to choose to look for all the ways that I don't have what I need, what I think I should have, or what I think I should have for this stage of my life? Or am I able to appreciate all that I do have and be so open to more, right? That too.
Exactly. And the one, you know, I spent many, many years, especially as a teacher, with anxiety. I would wake up every morning feeling anxious, that pit in my stomach. And when I started a gratitude practice, when I started paying more attention and being consciously aware of the things that I was grateful for, I found my mornings, that was the one thing that I did to combat the anxiety,
Mhm.
is that I started to think about, as soon as I opened my eyes, I felt that pit in my stomach, and right away I would think about what are the things that I'm grateful for today. And gratitude, anxiety cannot exist at the same time as gratitude.
Mhm.
You cannot hold two emotions at the same time. You can really only hold one. And so when you are feeling gratitude, all of those other things, those negative emotions, the stress, the anxiety, the resentment, whatever it is, you can't feel that at the same time as gratitude. So the more time that you can spend in gratitude, the less time you spend in those negative emotions, those emotions that do not serve you, that just create suffering in your life.
That's right. Yeah. And I'm thinking about some clients that I've worked with who They had been living in a low vibration, in a low state for such a long time that when I was asking them to look for things that they were grateful for in their life, they couldn't find them. And gratitude practices, as you've talked about, is one of the things that I've definitely almost given all of my clients that needed to be able to see what they have today. Because if I can see what I have today, then it opens me up to more joy, more happiness, the ability to attract more good.
Mhm.
People want that, right? People want to feel better in their lives. And so I was thinking, like, I know there's so many different practices around gratitude, like it might start by saying, "Oh, I'm grateful that I have hot water. I'm grateful that I have a cup of tea." And those things are wonderful. And if that's where you need to start, then you need to start there. But I would love, and I know for me, I've really worked on this, is to look for the things in my life that I'm grateful for that nobody else will have experienced in that day. So other people might have had that hot water, other people had that cup of tea, but were other people able to experience what I did? Because then it really is unique to my life and it starts to have me look and be more present in my life. I think that's the other thing that is so important, is when we know we're practicing a gratitude journal, having a gratitude journal, and we know that we're going to do that, you start to go, "Oh my gosh, okay, I'm going to have to fill out my 5 gratitudes first thing in the morning, or 5 things before I go to bed." And if I know that I'm going to have to write them down, I'm going to start to look for them, right? It naturally starts to create that consciousness that you spoke about.
Mhm.
And that's where it all starts. I saw Christine's comment in here saying too that gratitude is more than a thought, it's a feeling. And I 100% agree with you. It is something that we feel viscerally. We feel it in our bodies, this sense of joy and gratitude, really.
Mhm. And I think it not only is it more than it's a feeling, but it also can really become a way of life. Like when you really are able to incorporate it into your life, it just becomes a part of who you are, and it becomes part of your programming. You are building it into your subconscious mind, and then it's just a natural part of your life. And that is, I mean, I'm working on getting to that place. I'm a lot further, I'm a lot closer to it than I was many years ago, but I still have a long way to go.
Mhm.
But it just creates so much joy when you're feeling gratitude. And you talked a little bit about vibration, Kim, and I'm a huge law of attraction person. So being in a state of gratitude definitely raises your vibration. You will attract from the level of vibration that you are on. You don't attract the things that you want in your life, you attract what you are. So when you are in that high vibration, you will begin to attract things on that same level that you are on. So the vibration of gratitude is a very, very high vibration. And you will begin to see the more time you spend in that vibration, the more the universe begins to bring things to you that
Oh,
are in alignment with that vibration. So it is, um, it's so much bigger, really, than we can even talk about, because I know the power that has been created through my gratitude practice, the things that I really truly believe I brought into my life because of gratitude. And I believe that with the law of attraction, you you have to show the universe, God, whatever you call that higher power, you have to show God, the universe, that you can be grateful for what you have now. I always look at it kind of like as your kids, when you see true gratitude in them, when you give them something or do something for them, and you see that feeling of gratitude, it just makes you want to give them more.
mhm.
It's kind of, with your friends too, like the people who are really grateful, you just want to do more for them. And I believe that's the way the universe looks at it too, or God looks at it, that, wow, look at the gratitude that person shows. I just want to shower blessings and things to be grateful for on that person. So that's the way that I look at that vibration of gratitude.
Yeah, I love all of that. And that just brought up another point is to be able to express your gratitude. So when I was thinking about expressing our gratitude, one of the things I've really enjoyed practicing and just allowing, like almost like testing it, was this ability to express, like, I'm going to get all red light. I'm not red lights. I'm going to get all green lights. Time is on my side. Oh, there's another green light. Thank you. Thank you,
Mhm.
God. Thank you, universe. Or the parking spots. I think that's the key too, right? So often we go, "Oh, I got my parking spot." No, like if you actually like express that verbally and I do that, I'm like, "Oh, thank you. Thank you for giving me that parking spot that I needed," right? It's to show that you do have appreciation because as you said, why would we deserve more, right? Or be able to hold more if I can't already appreciate what it is that I have. And so I guess that's what I'd love to encourage all of us, everyone that's listening, and for us as well, Kellyanne, is to take the time to express to the people in your life how grateful you are. I really believe we need this as humans because we are doing so much. And many of us are sometimes taking on maybe more than we should, but we do it from such a grateful heart. We want to be kind humans and we want to be there for people. To take that time, not a quick fluffy, oh, thank you so much. Like an intentional, like, what could you do? Could you write them a handwritten note? Actually, that just reminded me. I'm just going to share this really quickly. I was reading an article yesterday about gratitude, and there was a study, and there was three different subjects. Okay, so we had a group of people that were writing a letter of gratitude to a different person every day. I think it was for 2 or 3 weeks, and then another group of people were writing down all the things that they were horrible about their life. Okay. And then there
Mm.
was the third group of people that were doing no type of writing. And of course, we can be smart enough to know that that first group of people saw so many huge benefits in their overall health, mental health, well-being, right? So when we are practicing this and living in that high vibrational state, sharing love and appreciation for other people, it's not only helping you, but it's helping lift the vibration of another person. And that's collectively what we want to be doing for each other, right?
Exactly, exactly. And yeah, Christine just brought this up in the chat, and this is something I was going to talk about. So every morning I have a gratitude practice, I have a gratitude journal. And one of the things that I spend a lot of time doing is being grateful for things that I have not manifested yet.
Mhm, mhm,
Being grateful for the things that I want to bring into my life. Because your mind does not know the difference between real and imagined. And when you can get, it's again going back to that vibration. So when you can be thankful for things in advance, feel the feelings, get emotionally involved with it, what happens to your vibration? It rises.
mhm,
And when you rise, when your vibration rises, the law of attraction kicks in and it starts to go to work for you. So if you have something that you want to manifest in your life, that you want to bring into your life, start to be grateful for it already, because those feelings are what is going to create the reality for you, that vibration. So when I'm writing my gratitudes, I write, I am so happy and grateful now that.
mhm,
And then I continue that with the things that I do not have in my life or the things that I'm working to bring into my life.
mhm,
And that also, we know, Kim, goes to work on the subconscious mind. So
mhm,
now the subconscious mind is saying, hmm,
mhm,
that feels like it's already here.
mhm,
And so it starts to create the pathways and it starts to, as I say, go to work on opening the doors, on making the introductions, on bringing the experiences into your life. That is the law of attraction at work. And gratitude is such an important part of
mhm. Do you not already feel so much better in this call?
that.
Like, my vibration has elevated.
I
Like, I
know.
feel it. I feel it.
Yes.
And I love the excitement in the chat that's coming in here too.
Mhm.
Like, everyone's feeling this. This is the power of this collective energy. I actually, did some self-guided hypnosis this morning, and I was doing exactly that. So this whole place, Kellyanne just talked about, like, really feeling it. So allow all of your senses when you have this this thing that you want to manifest for your life? What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you feeling? What are you touching? What does your day look like? Who are you with? This is what we're talking about, is bringing all of that into your mind, into that visualization and that manifestation, because it changes your physiology.
Mhm.
And then it's like, okay, well, these are the things that I would see when I have manifested this into my life and I'm living from this place of gratitude, right? Because the subconscious mind is like, okay, check, check, check. This is what she wants. And she didn't just do this once, she's doing this regularly, right? She's living. This is why it's so important, everyone, when we can live from a place of a healthy positive level of comparison. Okay, comparison is not a bad thing. If there's something that somebody else has and you're like, wow, I really love how that person is living, live with that same energy. And so when they're celebrating their successes, you celebrate them with them. And this is always continuing to raise up your vibration. You're living in a place of gratitude. I'm so grateful I have people in my life that I can learn from, people in my life that are here to help me. This is what we're talking about. And you feel it in your body. And then you're already like, especially if you can do this before you get out of bed in the morning, even do that. Like, maybe you're not at the place right now where you're writing in a gratitude journal, although we encourage you to, but can you at least before you get out of bed? And I know our minds, many of our minds are wired to be negative. This is unfortunately how a lot of people are, but you can change it. You switch it. And even if you choose to have the same mantra that you're going to use every single morning, I'm so grateful for another day that I get to choose to live here and appreciate my life, whatever, word it however you want. But you say that, put your feet on the ground, roll yourself out of bed. I'm so grateful. Here I go. I have another day. Practice this stuff, and it starts to change the trajectory of your day and what you're going to bring into your life.
Exactly. And it becomes a habit,
Mhm.
right? And that's what we want to create. We want to create habits that move us forward, that give us the life that we want. And living in a state of gratitude, as Kim said, if you're not, if you feel like you don't have a lot of gratitude in your life now, start small. Start with that, even set an alarm. I encourage people to do that, to set an alarm. And whether you're working on your self-image, which is the area that I kind of encourage people to do that, but or a gratitude practice, set an alarm to go off 3 times a day. And at that moment, the alarm goes off, stop and say, what's one thing I can be grateful for right now?
Mhm.
And as you start to do it, it becomes a habit.
Mhm.
And it's interesting, Joanne just said about mirror work. And one of the things, I was just listening to something today that talked about how rarely we are grateful to ourselves and for ourselves. And that, of course, that is all about self love, but being able to see and to say to yourself, I'm really grateful to you, Kellyanne, whoever, whatever your name is, for having the courage to do this. Or I'm really grateful that I have the determination to not give up on this. Start with yourself. Be grateful and feel gratitude for yourself. When you can do that, it's so much easier to feel gratitude for other things. I think so many of these things start with ourselves. And if we're not in the habit of feeling those feelings for ourselves, it's really hard to put it out there in the world and to feel it for other things.
Right. And we feel envy, right? We feel envy and we feel like, almost it's like if you're only seeing all the things that you don't have and how horrible your life is, if that's the way you see things, well, then you're going to start to feel resentment towards other people. So
Mhm.
what we're asking you and what we do for ourselves, I mean, I can remember when I was, I keep probably the darkest time of my life, and I hope I never feel the darkness like I felt. But when I was able to start to go, I have family that love me. I have a warm bed. I have children who can give me hugs. Like, when I was able to do that, I started to be able to shift. I wasn't able to change my circumstances at the time,
Mhm.
right? But I was allowed to be able to still see what I have, and I just think that that's really important. Oh, I know what I was going to say, because you said it a second ago, and I wanted to highlight this because it just came to my mind. You talked about having a gratitude for yourself, and you used your name. And this is another thing that the subconscious mind will wake up to, is when you use your name, and you speak your name, Kim, you're doing such amazing things. I'm so proud of you. And you're going to listen to that differently than if you use the, speak in the I person. So play around with that and see if that makes a difference for you, because what we want to do is we want to disrupt the regular patterns that we're on that are not helping us, and try something new. This is all about trying something new and seeing what works for you.
I love that. I love that, Kim. And yeah. And as we talked about, this is, and I've had people say to me, well, I've tried gratitude and it didn't work for me. Or I've tried, raising my vibration. I've tried changing my thoughts and it didn't work for me. This is a practice.
Mhm.
This is something that requires a commitment. If you want to change your life, there's no life hack. There's nothing that you can do in 30 minutes or take a course for a weekend and
Pop
all
a
of a
pill.
sudden, yeah, all of a sudden your life is better. That's not how this works.
No.
This works, deep inside you. These are the things that you and you alone have to create to change your life. And it's, it's for it takes time, it takes practice, it takes if I spent most of my life not in gratitude. So if I'm living looking for the things that are wrong with my life, that is a habit that was so ingrained in me that it took a lot to break that.
Mhm.
So be kind and be gentle with yourself and make a decision that you're going to try these things, that you're going to spend more time in gratitude and do it a little bit at a time. And believe me, if I can do it, somebody who really didn't have gratitude, if I can change that in myself, you can do it too. It's just changing it slowly over time. It doesn't have to be slowly. That's a limiting belief that I have. It doesn't have to be slowly.
Yeah.
It can be a real quick and what we notice is that people who go through um, real life changing experiences, like often people who have, say, a scary health issue or something with a loved one where there is, something scary happen, they can change their feelings like that.
Mhm.
So, some kind of emotionally impactful event can change your gratitude. All of a sudden, when there's the fear of losing somebody or you have almost lost something in your life, it really shifts and you can switch to that gratitude because you've had the experience of the thought of not having it in your life anymore.
Mhm. Yeah, and I love that. That's so important because it shows that it is possible. We
Yes.
can it's all about choice. It's right about a decision. I can choose to
Mhm,
see it this way, or I can choose to see it that way. And
mhm,
it's way more comfortable for us to be able to see it in the way that we've been normally looking at our lives. But it's about making those choices to be able to say, you know what, like this isn't working, and I'm going to try this. And this is the thing. I guess, and maybe this is where we'll start to wrap it up. Um, when you know how challenging or hard or how much energy is required for you to start to make these shifts in your life, and you know how quickly our energy can be changed by other people, this is why it's really important to understand that you get to choose who you have in your life or how much time they spend with you. We've talked about this in our podcast before, so you can certainly find this episode, but I just want to just pull that piece in here, because if I'm constantly working on being in a place of gratitude, and I have somebody made the comment about negative Nancy, who's always looking for the bad and the pessimistic, then the glass is half empty, like that whole approach, that person is going to go into you, right? We know we talked about this. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the time with. So these are why we start to make these decisions for our life, because you get to choose how you want to live. You can either choose to live in lack, and that sucks, or
mhm,
you can choose to be able to say, you know what, I want to appreciate what I have now. And universe, God, higher power, I am open to so much more. But we
mhm.
have to be able to hold and appreciate what we have today in order for more to be given to us. Like, do I deserve it? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And I think him, I know for me, being able to change that, I required support to do that. I couldn't do it on my own. I really needed, as you say, I needed good people around me. I had a coach that helped me, because it's so easy to fall back. It's just, without without saying to yourself, I need people around me. I need, whether it's a coach, whether it's a good friend, whether it's the people that you hang around with, I need people to support me in choosing this life that I want to create.
Mhm.
And
And that's the thing. We have to that friend that's willing or that coach that's willing to say, "Hey, I've got people that call me on my thought patterns all the time, right? Because we do that, right?
Mhm.
It's natural. I want to remind us all it's natural for our minds to be able to stay in safety, comfortability, even if it's not where we want to be. It's where we're wired to stay, looking for all the things that can go wrong. So you
Yeah.
have to be able to look and have people in your life that help you catch those thinking patterns, which is obviously what Kellyanne and I do for our clients, right?
Yes, exactly.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
So we hope that this has maybe just kind of given you a little bit of insight, and maybe today you are going to go and practice a little bit more gratitude in your life. You will never regret doing that. It's a beautiful way to just add some joy and appreciation to your life, and who doesn't need more of that?
We all could use more, right?
Yes,
Just
so
make
thank you for being here. Thank you for all the comments.
Mhm.
We will see you back here next week, and we appreciate you all for being here.
2 weeks. I haven't had a chance to tell you. Kim's
Right.
on holidays next week. Kim's
Okay.
on
We
holidays.
won't we won't see you next week. We will see you the week after that.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for
Bye-bye.
tuning in.